Good day, everyone. This is I Am, and welcome back to I Am Vibes. This is your introduction to the philosophy of the human person's class. For this lesson, we are going to discuss understanding transcendence, for it aims to introduce the condition of the possibility in the different life situations of human beings. This also aims to let a human person realizes how the human body imposes limits and possibilities. Why are you still studying despite the risks a pandemic brings? Why are you working so hard? Such questions motivate the mind and serve as a baseline of a great achievement because nobody becomes successful without preparation and hard work. Success is where preparation and opportunity meet. You may rise gradually, but you are certain to achieve your goals. A good transformation that enables an individual having a sense of self-realization towards success. However, despite of working tediously, sometimes we fail to succeed in reaching our goals due to limitations that hinder us to realize it. In the previous lesson, Tarzan was introduced in which he had the what traits of a human person comprise his physical attributes, mental capacity, and spirituality, similar to a human, while his character and values had the who traits of an ape. The metaphysical nature or the what of Tarzan has been discussed in the previous lesson. This lesson then focuses on the how nature of a human person, the existentialism approach. But before that, let us first talk about the secret to Manny Pacquiao's success. You may know Manny Pacquiao, a Filipino boxer. Manny has a lot to tell about how he has achieved success. First is his history. He was born to a poor family, and the reason why he stopped going to school in 4th grade is to support his mother and siblings. He became a donut vendor, a tricycle driver, and a worker in a fish port. These struggles made him decide to engage himself in the world of boxing not only because of the love of the sport and the love of his dream to become like his idol Mike Tyson, but mainly because to save his family from poverty. This decision first came to his mind after listening to a Douglas Tyson fight from a portable radio. His determination is so strong that he would do anything to achieve his goal against all adversities. This is how his faith in God became his source of strength. The rest was history. Manny Pacquiao showed that despite of the obstacles he went through while pursuing his dreams, he took the necessary actions to overcome them. Remember, just like Manny, your dreams are possible and it lies in you through hard work and discipline to achieve it. Pacquiao's success story is beyond he and his family's expectation. And this is the essence of the word transcendence. Before we will proceed to the full understanding of transcendence, let us first examine the version of the existential approach of Martin Heidegger's analysis of the human person in terms of the human's mode of existence in the world. Martin Heidegger is the founder of existentialism, a 20th century German philosopher. His best-known book, Being and Time, although notoriously difficult, is generally considered to be one of the most important philosophical works of the 20th century. The existential approach focuses on the kind of life and the mode of existence that is unique to the human person and examines the essential feature of the human way of life. It is the view that humans define their own meaning in life and try to make rational decisions despite existing in an irrational universe. It focuses on the question of human existence and the feeling that there is no purpose or explanation at the core of that existence. Existentialism proposes that people have the freedom and the responsibility to make our own choices, and that leaning on institutions or other individuals to tell us how to make our moral choices is inauthentic and hinders our personal development. According to existential thought, we must look within ourselves to find meaning, to assert our values, and to make the decisions that shape our lives. For example, determining your career choice based on what you think is an important way to spend your future. Living your life without regard to commonly held religious or social beliefs. Or you fall in love and want to live with a person forever. According to Heidegger, there are two fundamental features of mode of existence a human person has. First, human person exists by being in the world, or a human person has the particular place to exist with involvement or engagement with things or among other living things in the world. If we can see a man doing nothing, it doesn't mean he is not thinking, calculating, or dreaming. The ability of a person to engage in other things or being put him or her in a situation or context that he has a place to exist. Second, human person has a self. He has his or her own physical body to exist in the world. Heidegger stated that the human existence of the world is characterized by involvement or engagement and not just simply a relation in space. If Anne, for instance, is in the library, it doesn't only describe by the simple fact that she is in the library. Anne maybe involves or engages in reading books, writing a reaction paper, doing research, or chatting with friends. On the other hand, the books in the library can be sufficiently describe the fact that it is spatially located in the bookshelves. Bookshelves A or bookshelves B, and nothing that we can say. Heidegger identifies two ways by which a human person gets involved with the things or entities in the world as discussed by Mabacchio Jr. 2017 in his book Making Life Worth Living. First, a human person is being alongside. Here, the involvement of the human person with the things or entities has the character of utility. Things appear as a form of equipment or instrument, used for practical purposes to satisfy his or her needs, or theoretical contemplation to study or observe. It is then constituting the human person's equipmental world. Second, a human person is being with. Here, a human person's involvement has the character of considerateness, usually shown in moments of empathizing with his or her fellow human persons. It is then constituting the human person's public or social world. The human person, therefore, exists in the world not just a matter of space, but also a matter of involvement or engagement in various things. For instance, a wealthy person satisfied with the equipmental world still longs to be engaged with groups or organizations in his place. On the other hand, a consistent Supreme Student Government President is working too hard to reach for material stability for practical and theoretical purposes. Ideally, a human person uses mere objects and relates to other persons with considerateness. Now, it's about time for us to understand the word transcendence. One more distinct characteristic of a human person is the ability for transcendence. The concept is used primarily concerning to God's relation to the world, which means that God is completely outside of and beyond the world. In everyday language, transcendence means going beyond. Transcendence means an extraordinary experience to either both material or immaterial realm. An event of life where you have permitted yourself to go beyond what you need into what you desire to both material and immaterial experiences. Let us discuss first the material experiences. Mind, body, or spirit, the body, the physical body, would be material. Material things can consist of anything as basic as a child's toothbrush, to beautiful houses, to a luxurious car, to a multi-million-dollar private jet. These things can be significant and important, often view it in the context of what we can acquire or as having a physical existence. Although material things are transitory goods, most people wanted to live in the fullness of material things because we live in a material world. Some people can live for years without pride, honor, love, or any immaterial things just to live the fullness of the luxury of life. Manny Pacquiao's story of rags to riches, going beyond to the limit of what he was expecting, enables him to experience the material transcendence. On the other hand, Mark Zuckerberg, known as the Facebook co-founder, has a net worth just shy of $70 billion, making him the sixth richest person of the world as of 2018, undeniably experienced the extraordinary extravagance of material things. So, senior high school, why are you working so hard? Why are you still pursuing your career? Is transcendence to a material realm is one of your reasons for doing great things today? Yes or no? Could you be the happiest if you will enable to reach those? Other than material realm or experiences is the immaterial experience. Abraham Harold Maslow, on his self-actualization concept as part of the hierarchy of needs, defines transcendence as a state of being intrinsically satisfied with life regardless of physical and tangible factors. It is represented by the growth of an individual toward fulfillment of the highest needs and thus understanding of meaning in life. Self-actualization needs mean of realizing personal potential, self-fulfillment, seeking personal growth, and peak experiences. A desire to become everything one is capable of becoming. Taking a selfie from outer space, climbing the highest mountain of the world, or winning an international talent search is beyond extraordinary immaterial experiences that may bring goodness and fulfillment to the body that takes effect to the soul as well. Jean-Paul Sartre, French novelist, playwright, and exponent of existentialism, explains that the human capacity for transcendence is rooted in human intentionality, or the ability of consciousness to be about itself. Consciousness is free about the objects to which it will direct itself, and on the other hand, it lacks a fixed essence because it is incomplete, always transcending itself. A human person has the freedom to believe, to desire, to hope, or to choose the action that we intend to perform, but will always be in the process of knowing our worth in this world. Human beings wanted to experience transcendence because this will cause happiness as his or her ultimate reason for living, but not all persons have given the chance to experience such. Why do you think transcendence will not be experienced by everyone? What are the factors that limit a human person to reach beyond his or her expectations? The limitations and possibilities of transcendence. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. This famous line is originated from Albert Einstein, who encourages us to take confidence and courage to acknowledge the areas where we could improve. Everyone is struggling with something because nobody is perfect. The people who are willing to take an honest look at their weaknesses are the ones who consistently grow stronger. One must identify his or her limitations so that he or she can stretch himself or herself and redefine what's possible and not. Kuiper School cited 3 possibilities of transcendence include developing a positive outlook in life, working towards reaching a goal, and learning from experience. However, limitations are the reasons why a human person could not be able to experience transcendence, and may sometimes conclude that life is unfair. The following limitations hinder human transcendence and freedom in that they serve as obstacles to the accomplishment of a person's goal. It may not occur to everyone. It does not come at a specific period. It varies across all people. It may coincide with physical or bodily limitations such as mental and emotional disorders, disabilities, diseases and illnesses, failures and experiences, genetic attributes. It also considers the socioeconomic status, location of the neighborhood, abusive relationships, negative influences, and the call of a natural environment such as natural forces like gravity and natural events like storms, earthquakes, or even rain. It is crucial to recognize and evaluate one's limitations and possibilities toward reaching the extraordinary experiences and weighing better chances that leads to success. Who would know that Oprah Winfrey was sexually abused but became the queen of all media and got the highest rated television program in Chicago? No one could tell out one's destiny. Who would know that you could be a great leader, politician, teacher, lawyer, or seaman in the future? Life is lived from moment to moment in a carefree and exuberant manner where concerns for stress are reserved for the future and regrets or guilt feelings are kept in the past. Interestingly, the achievement is even more appreciated if it has been addressed with an apparent physical disability. It takes courage for any extraordinary man or ordinary man to achieve an accomplishment like a success when he or she lacks something like disability. It simply requires a passion for a person with disability to level the field. For example, Stephen Hawking, who passed away at the age of 76, lived with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or ALS. The disease typically runs its fatal course swiftly, but despite his condition and thanks to a computer that allowed him to write a few words a minute using the movement of his cheek muscles, Hawking authored books and papers and gave countless lectures until shortly before his death. Such ordinary people and such an inspiring story. Being conscious by the way we think, do, or talk, always directed at something outside within us. The eagerness of a person to go beyond the limit from a current situation is part of human nature. This person may utilize his or her talent, skill, and ability to make choices for the possibility of material transcendence and continuously fill up the gap to hit the possibility of immaterial transcendence. Though limitations are present, there is always hope for a human person to transcend whatever situation he or she is currently experiencing, just like our pambansang kamao, Manny Pacquiao, and among others. None of us is perfect no matter how hard we try. Sometimes the fruitless efforts make us feel like a failure. Work on your strengths and capitalize on it. For the weaknesses, surround yourself with people who can empower you to turn this into strengths. Every successful person has probably failed several times. Failure is part of the process. It's not an end, but can be a means to an amazing end. Get out there and try to fail. Challenge yourself. Learn new things and fail as fast as possible. The important thing is keep going and not to give up. I hope you learned something today from our lesson. This time, let us proceed to our assessment section. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Vibes.